Hi guys, welcome back to TOEFL with Juva. In this lesson, I will explain 6 common mistakes to avoid on TOEFL Speaking Task 4. If you know that you must avoid these mistakes, you can easily improve your score. Let's get started! By the way, if you want to get your dream TOEFL score, join my course. Here you can find templates, practice tests, sample answers, and much more to really boost your score. To access the course, click on the link in the description. Also, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss the next video. In TOEFL Speaking Task 4, you hear an academic lecture that is about 2 minutes long and have to summarize it in half that time. You must organize your thoughts well. Here are a few common errors to watch out for when giving your response. First, describe the topic. The lecture is about something, right? Maybe it's about bird intelligence, or maybe it's about advertising strategies. Whatever it is, you need to explain the topic at the start of your response. Otherwise, the listener will have no idea what you're talking about. Imagine you're talking to a friend about a class in school. You need to tell what the class was about before describing examples. Here's what I mean. Let's say I start my response with, the first example of this is a crow that brings a ring to a little girl that fed it. Well, I summarized the example, but what am I talking about? Am I talking about caring for animals? Your friend and the TOEFL examiner does not know what this means. You have to explain. Now listen to this start of a response. The lecture is about avian cognition, which means intelligence in birds. The first example of this is a crow that brings a ring to a little girl that fed it. Do you see how one sentence sets up the entire response? That's why you should always include the topic and a quick definition when you start. Next, avoid reading your notes. When you get nervous, it's easy to start reading what you have written word for word. This can cause a problem for 3 reasons. First, your voice will not be natural. It will sound like you're reading rather than giving an explanation about what you have heard. Second, you will not paraphrase. If you wrote down sentences exactly from the lecture, you will not showcase your vocabulary. The TOEFL examiner might wonder if you understood the lecture. Third, if you took time to copy down complete sentences, you might have missed important information from the lecture. You might not include details that are essential for understanding your response. Therefore, I solve this problem by only writing down short words or phrases when I take notes. That way, I don't have sentences to read. This problem is solved. By the way, if you want to get your dream TOEFL score, join my course. Here you can find templates, practice tests, sample answers, and much more to really boost your score. To access the course, click on the link in the description. Also, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss the next video. The next problem is giving too much detail about one example. The professor will speak for 2 minutes about 2 different examples. You need to balance your response so that you talk the same amount about both. If you talk too much about the first example, there might not be time to complete the second. If you only say a couple words about the first example, the TOEFL examiner might wonder if you understood it. Therefore, Plan on saying 2 sentences about both examples. Keeping to a standard structure will really help your response within the time limit. It will also be well balanced. That leads to my next point. Give good linking words between examples. Linking words are essential to convey your ideas well. In Task 4, many students start out with a good introduction, but then the examples blend together with no words clearly separating them. You must start each point with a good linking word. Practice using a template so you don't forget one at the start of the second point. I have made templates for all of the TOEFL speaking tasks. You can find my template for Task 4 in this course. My last 2 comments are about common grammar mistakes. One grammar mistake is incomplete comparisons. The academic lecturer often uses examples, and examples use comparisons. Comparisons show the way one thing is when you look at something else. For example, this plant grows taller than other plants. That technique is more efficient than other techniques. Comparisons use words like more than, less than, and the suffix er. Now, it's important that you include both parts of the comparison. Look at this incorrect sentence. This plant grows taller. The listener is left wondering, then what? Is the plant taller than you? Or taller than another plant? Or taller than a building? There is no way to tell from that sentence. You must include the thing that is being compared. If you use more or less or a word ending in er, be sure to say than. My last comment is not to forget to be. While I'm talking about grammar, I also want to mention the to be verb. The academic lecturer often talks about things which happen to something else, and those are often in the passive tense. That's when the subject is not doing the action. Instead, the subject has something happen to it. For example, the Eiffel Tower was built in 1887. In other words, someone built the Eiffel Tower in 1887. It's not necessary to say who did the job. In this case, the listener assumes lots of people worked on the project. However, it's really easy to forget the to be when you are speaking in the passive tense. The meaning can really change if you forget it though. My sentence becomes, the Eiffel Tower built in 1887. What did the Eiffel Tower build? If the subject has an action happen to it, don't forget was or is or were or are. Those words are small, but they are very important. You may make some of these errors while practicing. That's okay. Use my tips to fix the problem before the test day. Then you can take the actual TOEFL speaking test with confidence. That's it. That's 6 common errors you should watch out for on TOEFL Speaking Task 4. By the way, if you want to get your dream TOEFL score, join my course. Here you can find templates, practice tests, sample answers, and much more to really boost your score. To access the course, click on the link in the description. Also, hit the like button and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss the next video.